Welcome back to the deep dive. We got some fascinating material sent over about an artist, Lucas Park, and his upcoming exhibition. It's called Lucas Park, I Miss My Mom Too.
Right. Happening soon, isn't it? At the Dangjin Art Center.
Exactly, April 25th to 27th. And, you know, what really jumps out is this marks his 60th year as an artist. 60 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a career. And he's celebrating it back in his hometown, which feels significant.
Totally. So the central theme, according to this material, it's Gaia, the earth goddess.
Gaia, from Greek mythology, the sort of primal mother figure. Park is known for, well, they call it action painting.
Action painting, like Pollock, or something different.
A bit different, maybe. The description says he paints music through performing action performances. So very physical, very dynamic.
Okay, painting music through movement. Interesting. And his goal with these Gaia pieces is to really connect emotionally, right? Move the audience.
That seems to be the core aim, yeah, to capture that primal force of nature in a way that resonates deeply.
And for anyone listening who might be nearby, there's an opening event, April 25th, 3 p.m., First Exhibition Hall. Sounds like some important folks might be there.
Yeah, expects domestic and international figures. Should be quite the event.
Okay, let's dig into Gaia more. The notes mention imagery of, like, ferns sprouting from frozen earth.
Exactly. Winding, sprouting ferns. It's a very direct visual for spring, for rebirth, nature coming back to life.
That definitely gives you that aha feeling, that sense of renewal. It connects.
It really does. And what's interesting is seeing how his approach has evolved.
How so?
Well, his earlier Gaia works used something called the harang technique on old wooden kitchen doors, apparently.
Old kitchen doors.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Repurposed material, dynamic, sweeping gestures. But these new works are different. They're on traditional hanji paper.
Hanji paper, okay.
Yeah.
And using something called huangshil, a yellow lacquer.
Huangkil. And this is pretty key. It's not just paint. It's a rare traditional Korean lacquer.
So what's special about it? Well, for one, it has natural preservative qualities. It's been used for ages in Korean art. But also the golden color. It symbolizes filial piety, devotion.
So using a gold-like lacquer for a mother figure, that adds a whole other layer. Devotion, reverence.
Precisely. And then there's the way he actually depicts Gaia, using semi-nude forms.
Which is pretty uncommon in Korea, right? For this kind of subject.
Relatively rare, yes. It's meant to express her raw, primal nature. Very direct.
And the symbolism, the notes mention something about her arms, or lack of them.
Right. The absence of arms is apparently symbolic of maternal sacrifice.
Sacrifice, contrasted with, what was it, an abundant chest.
Yes, symbolizing life, fertility, abundance, prosperity. It's a really potent combination of ideas in one image.
Sacrifice and abundance, side by side. That's powerful. And you mentioned his style changing, too, over the 60 years.
Yeah, you can see a shift. The earlier stuff was maybe more elaborate. These new works are described as having more refined, condensed ink tones.
So, simpler in a way, but maybe more focused.
Kind of. More distilled. And then you have these golden accents from the huangkil, which adds this sleek, almost modern feel to it, despite the traditional materials.
Stripping things down to the essentials, but with that touch of gold. It sounds quite striking. We actually have a quote from Park himself.
Oh, what does he say?
He says he hopes to bring about a shift in thinking, challenge conventional ideas, and inspire abundance and prosperity with this Gaia series. And he wishes the audience happiness.
That's great. Gives you a real sense of his intention. It's not just art for art's sake. He wants it to do something, to inspire.
Definitely. And it helps to know he's also, involved elsewhere. Executive director of the Gaia Memorial Foundation, director of the Hainan Art Museum.
Right. He's clearly deeply embedded in the art world there. And apparently he limits his output. No more than 50 pieces per subject.
Yeah, and get this, he plans to keep creating for another 60 years.
Another 60? Wow, that's dedication. Or maybe optimism.
Maybe both. So, okay, let's recap for everyone. Lucas Park's 60th anniversary show, I Miss My Mom Too, Dangjin Art Center, April 25th to 27th.
Focusing on Gaia, using hanji paper, and this really significant huangshil lacquer.
With these symbolic semi-nude forms representing sacrifice and abundance. And it shows a kind of refinement in his long career.
A distillation of his ideas, perhaps. It all sounds fascinating.
It really does. So maybe a final thought to leave our listeners with, thinking about this depiction of Gaia.
Yeah.
Well, how have other artists across time and cultures tried to represent the idea of mother or source? Does Park's version fit in? Does it challenge things?
It's a great question. How does his interpretation with the sacrifice and the abundance resonate? What does that symbolism spark for you when you think about, say, nature versus nurture?
Lots to think about there. Definitely gives you a new lens for looking at depictions of motherhood and nature in art.
Absolutely, something to mull over.